everybody, it's Mike DiLisio, and today I'm going to be reviewing Hits and Outs, a baseball-themed game from publisher Itten Games and designer Ron Halliday. This is a game that revolves around guessing and some bluffing, and you're going to be alternating as a batter and a pitcher in a baseball-themed game. It's really simple. Let me show you how it works at the table, and then I'll come back here and let you know what I think. All right, here you see the components for Hits and Outs, this being a two-player game. One player is going to be the red team, one player is going to be the blue team, and you're just going to choose who's going to be at bat first and who is pitching first. So let's just say in this example that the red team is at bat first. They're going to go ahead and put their batter at home plate, and the blue team is going to be pitching, so they take their pitcher there. You can see he's got a slightly different pose. He's got his arm up. And he'll go ahead and go on the pitcher's mound. You'll also go ahead and take this scoreboard screen. You'll put the names of the teams on there. Let's say we're going to do the Jets and the Sharks, right? Just off the top of my head. All right, and then you're ready to go. All right, so the person who is the pitching player is going to be taking control of these components. And these are going to be being passed back and forth between innings. But these are going to have three kind of out markers and one hit marker. And then these plastic covers that you're going to be placing over them and then putting at the bases. You also have these three out markers to determine when you've been when you've been called out. All right, so the pitching player will take the screen, and behind the screen they will place markers on top, or covers on top of the markers, and then they're going to place them out each at the four bases. All right, and so let's say that the pitcher decided to put the hit marker at third and then out markers at every one of the other bases. All right, at this point the batter is going to make a guess on where they believe that the hit marker is. Okay, so let's say that they say, all right, well, I'm going to try to hit a double. Boom, no such luck. All right, so they would flip over and they would have one out. All right, let's say that they got lucky on their next one. Hey, what do you know? I got a triple, and so they're going to place a runner at third base. Whenever a hit happens, you're going to retrieve all of these markers and you're going to do it all over again. You're going to, now with one out, you're going to reposition at the bases, the different markers, the hit and the outs markers. And anytime that runs are scored, you're going to account for that on the scoreboard at the end of the inning. So let's say that this time, they said, well, they're going to take a risk. They're going to put the hit at the home run. And so if they go, all right, well, I'm going to guess, I tried double last time. Maybe they won't go there. Oh, I'm out. But they're lucky enough to guess, hey, home run. That's great. That means that 2 runs score. Let's say that they then get a third out. And so now the Jets had scored 2 in the top of the first. You would switch off, change the roles, and then the blue team would get their chance at bat. And you're going to do this over 3 innings. If you're tied at the end of 3 innings, then you can go into extra innings until you find your winner. And if it's not tied at the end of 3, at the end of 3 innings, whoever has the highest score is going to win the game of hits and outs. Now, there is an optional variant. You can add in this call your shot token, which basically means that whoever is at bat before the pitcher places their covers out there, they can say, I'm calling my shot, and if they get the hit guess correct, no matter what base it's on, it's an automatic home run. And so they would score for the batter and whoever might have been on base at that time. All right, that is Hits and Outs. Let's head back up and I'll let you know what I think. All right, so that overview, I think, reinforces what I said here at the intro about how simple of a game it is. Very, very simple rules, not much that it's going to take for you to teach and learn this game. But I think there's going to be one word that is kind of the overarching theme in the review portion of this video, and that's going to be expectations. I think that what people's expectations are going into the game are really going to have a lot to do with what their impression of the game is going to be. And so just as a little bit of background, Itten Games is a Japanese publisher, and they're primarily known for making kind of party-style games and almost artistic expressions that they add some rules to, things like Tokyo Highway, and they have a series of games known as the Fun Brick titles, and I've reviewed several of them on the channel, things like Viking Seesaw, things along those lines. And so if you know a little bit about the publisher going into the game, that helps because maybe you'll have a context for what types of games they tend to do. And Hits and Outs is a game that I really do feel kind of fits within their line. And that being said is that it's very rules light. It's a very light game. To call it a filler game is almost overstating it, right? This is a game really about guessing, making guesses, bluffing if you're on the pitching side of the equation, but there's almost no rules, right? And how much of a game you're looking for going into it is really, I think, going to be an indicator of what your impression is and what your final thoughts on the game are going to be. Because if you're looking for anything that simulates baseball in any way whatsoever, this is not the game for you. All right, so if you're looking for a strategic or simulation style sports game, baseball game, this isn't it. Okay, if you're looking for a head-to-head game where the rules are barely there and you are just kind of trying to, get into the spirit of the thing, and maybe you really like baseball as a theme, and so that's a nice, kind of world to play in, and you like being able to kind of like get into a head-to-head match with the person across the table with you and be like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go there? I went there last time. You really think I'm going to do that twice? That kind of a thing. That's really what this game is about. This game is about getting into the head or attempting to get into the head of the other player and having these reveals where every time you remove one of those covers on the base, you've got this kind of like, yes, I knew it. I knew you were going to put it in the triple spot, and this kind of, I gotcha kind of a thing. Or when you as a pitcher get one of the scoreless innings, you're able to keep them from getting a single correct guess. That can feel incredibly satisfying, and it can be very, very humbling if you're on the other end of that. But is there strategy to the game? No. Does it feel like a baseball game? No, but it makes sense. I mean, it feels like a baseball game in the sense that you are trying to score runs if you're batting, and you are trying to prevent runs if you're pitching. And it goes through the structure of having innings, so to speak, but there's no like strikes or balls. It's basically, as it says in the title, you're either going to get a hit or you're going to get an out based upon where you guess, where you make your guess. And so expectations are going to be huge. If you go into this expecting a strategic game, it's probably not going to be what you want. It's going to be disappointing for you. If you want something that's going to simulate the feel of baseball, it's probably not going to be for you, and it's going to be disappointing for you. But if you are looking for a very fast, very simple game that has baseball as its setting, but it's really about just a very simple bluffing, and if you can get into the kind of the feel of maybe talking a little bit of smack with the other person, it's like, trying to get them to double think, triple think. That's really what this game is about. And so I think that some people are going to go into this looking for a particular type of game. They're not going to find it, and they're probably not going to be happy with it. I think that there are other people that kind of maybe have a little bit more of an idea of what the game is about. Maybe they've watched a video or two and they kind of know what to expect. And if you go into it knowing what to expect and you want that type of experience, then Hits and Outs is going to do a really good job of it, because this is a very, very condensed experience game where you're going to get this type of bluffing experience in 15 minutes. You can play, it's a 3-inning game, but there's no reason why you couldn't just play longer. I mean, you could play a full 9-inning game if you wanted to, and just kind of keep track, on the scoreboard, with the marker, and go through it 3 times. But whatever. 6 innings. It doesn't really matter. It's really more this idea of going back and forth. I don't think it would do well at 9 innings, quite honestly. I think this is a game that probably is best at a shorter time period, because it's such a simple exercise that going beyond 3 innings, I feel like it outstays its welcome. But at 3 innings, I think that this is a game that, it evokes a fun experience. Is it something that I'm going to be playing over and over and over again? Probably not. But this is a good one if you've got, maybe you're going to have a longer, a bigger game day, but there's a couple of people that are there early, right? You're there and one other person got there early. Other people haven't arrived yet. I could see pulling this out, playing a few innings of Hits and Outs, and then when other people show up, getting into a bigger game. I like baseball. I think that helps. I like the production. I think one of the things that It Games does so well is they have really delightful productions, and this is no exception to that. It's charming, right? It's charming. It looks fun on the table. I think if you walk past a table and people are playing it, it's going to attract your attention because it looks fun, right? And it can produce these kind of exciting, quick burst, exciting elements. And so for that reason, I'm going to be giving Hits and Outs a 7.5. I recommend it, but I think it's very important that you know what you're getting into when you go into the game. And your experience is likely going to depend upon what type of experience you're looking for when you go into the game. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. This is Mike DiLisio, and I will see you on the next one.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.